This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. Oh man, something just weird happened there. Hold on. Shit. Hold on. I don't know what that is. I can see it though. I know you can hear me, but that was weird. Yeah. Where the heck is that? Well, you'll have to hold on a second while I fix this. This little voice mod thing is pretty crazy. Let's see, hold on. Okay. That might be it. And disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. There we go, take two. I don't know. It's a software. It's weird how the defaults always turn off when they shouldn't. There's no reason for it. Anyways, how's everybody doing? And thank you, Mag, up there. Yeah. So we got some updates to go over, and then tomorrow night I'm going to be having on somebody, a missing person's mother and the mother's brother-in-law or something like that. So that'll be tomorrow, or the brother-in-law of the. I'll have to go look that up. I do not remember. But I'll give you a quick, brief rundown of that one tonight. So it's the, so it's I guess it's a half brother of the mother. He's been helping out, and that's sort of in my neck of the woods. From Oregon, but he's missing in Montana. All right. And I just want to let you know, I really appreciate everybody for your support and allowing our channel to do what we do and keep me doing what I'm doing. All right, I know it gets kind of like a grind, you know, over and over. Yep, thanks, Chad Bobinger. You know, the channel memberships, super chats, everything. It all just allows us to do what we're doing, because I couldn't really do this every single night for this many hours too. So, and thank everybody on Patreon who sort of the unsung heroes. There's some things I can't like if it's a members only YouTube video, it's hard to also make it for. I guess what I could do is do unlisted videos and put them over there too. I did that the other day. I could try that. But sometimes there's content that I don't want somebody else to be able to see. Run for president? I don't think so.
Motivation for Gray.
Thank you, Crystal, aka Beaver Gaming Sub Crystal. I read up above where you're got one more week left of your grand jury duties. And then Dustin Schaefer, thank you. Yeah, you're doing a lot better, aren't you, Audra?
Please run for POTUS.
So you have some cardiac issues, huh? Jeez. Well, everybody have some good vibes for Audra. I remind you of Glenn Beck. Oh, jeez. Is that good or? All right. Wait, hold on a second. I gotta check something. Oh man. I guess we won, but the Blazers won by 1 point. Right after I couldn't watch anymore. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you.
I love it how we all get same information. You make me feel important.
I guess this is the end of it right here. Oh, that was the fight part. There was a fight earlier, but anyways. That's awesome. Man, it was weird. We were down 16 points in the third quarter and came back and won that. Without Lillard even. Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. All right. So let me go over the...
Chewbacca?
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta go
Chewbacca
get
if you
that.
want me to.
You're amazing.
Well, thanks. You guys, you're pretty amazing yourself. Hold on a second. I got to get that link. I had it in a folder, but I thought I had it in a folder. Obviously, it's not. So it's Friday night. Another Friday night in the books. There, okay, there it is. All right, this is the case I'll be having guests on tomorrow, if everything goes as planned. All right, it's the case of Jacob Loomis. And this is just the generic story. She posted this actually in, I think, Gray Hughes Investigates today. She posted it in there. An Oregon family is still searching for answers after 24-year-old Jacob Loomis, his disappearance in northwest Montana in late October. Jacob Loomis moved to Kalispell from southern Oregon in August of 2019. He was reported missing just 2 months later. So he's been missing for about a year and a half. He was really excited about where his life was taking off. He wouldn't have just up and disappeared, said Kevin Harp, Jacob's uncle. Dawn Craner, or might be Craner, she's the lady, the mother, and I've talked to her a few times. Jacob's mom last heard from her son on October 18th. She said Jacob was staying, this is in 2019, staying at the Samaritan House, a homeless shelter and transitional living program in Kalispell, while also working 2 jobs. She says Jacob is believed to have gone on a hunting trip with friends, should have put quotes around friends, on October 19th, but never returned. Cranner says his belongings were stored at the Samaritan House in Kalispell, but those belongings were never picked up. The fact that he had those jobs, he never left a job. He had a job in Iowa for over a year, and he understands the benefits of work, so this disappearance is just not normal. Since Jacob's disappearance, family members have been active on social media asking Flathead residents for any information regarding Jacob's case. Some social media posts have been shared more than 1,000 times with friends and family, also creating a Facebook page called Saving Jacob Loomis. Amazing to hear how many people out there care about this case, and they want closure and answers just as much as the family does, said Cranner. Kalispell Police Detective Ryan Bartholomew tells Mountain News, or MTN News, that the case remains active and asks the public to come forward with any information they might have. Jacob's uncle, Kevin Harp, he's going to come on too, I believe, says community help is the only way to find closure. You know something out there, somebody out there knows something. It's a small town, people talk. We understand fear and pressure, especially when dealing with certain people, but somebody somewhere knows something, and we just want to bring Jacob home. So, anybody currently listening that knows anything, call 406-758-7793, and that's Detective Ryan Bartholomew. All right, so they're going to come on tomorrow. And thank you, Marine Co. and Truth Sleuth. Appreciate it. All right, so there's a couple articles that came out in the Idaho case of those 3 people that are, well, there are 3 people missing, but the one that they found dead yesterday is right here. Let's see. Police believe that Taryn Summers was murdered, but that her 2 young relatives who were also missing are now safe. Yeah. So I always thought the story was kind of weird because the other 2 were in contact. So they're safe now. Or does he just believe that? Police believe they're now safe. Okay. Idaho authorities believe they found the body of Taryn Summers. This is People magazine. 8-year-old girl who went missing on Monday, and a suspect has been arrested for murder in connection with the case. Taryn, along with relatives Tristan Connor Sexton, 16, and Taylor Summers, 14. Yeah, see, they had that wrong. Remember that? They had Tristan Summers and Taylor Connor, and that's why it was messed. No, it's still messed up, right? Because her last name it's Taryn Summers, but she's related to the guy, which is Tristan Sexton, and Taylor Summers. Ah, man, it's still confusing, unless both articles have the same error. They were all last seen in a small Idaho town of Emmett on separate dates, according to the Gem County Sheriff's Office, who added that all 3 lived in the same home. Oh, man. You might want to check to see what's going on at that house. Tristan vanished in September 2020, and Taylor disappeared the following month. After Taryn was reported missing on Monday, police began a regional search to find her. They used drones and dogs and checked with friends to see if the girl may be staying with them. At the time, police announced that she may also have been a runaway. But investigators made a grisly discovery on Thursday during a late-night press conference. Gem County Sheriff Donnie Wonder announced... See if anybody can find that press conference. Maybe we should play that. So it's Gem County Sheriff Donnie Wonder, spelled with a U, not an O, announced that investigators found a dead body on a property in the same rural neighborhood where Taryn was last seen. Police did not clarify how the body was found. A coroner was called to remove sensitive material. I can confirm that the body had been discovered and that body is pending identification, but it is believed to be that of 8-year-old Taryn Summers, a.k.a. Taryn Quinton. Wonder said, according to the Idaho Journal. According to the East Idaho News, Wonder told reporters the older siblings have been located and are not in danger, while law enforcement officials have made contact with Taylor. Tristan was recently contacted by other family members. We do not believe that they were recently with Taryn. See, it's such a weird story that they all went missing from the same location. But then 2 of them, they're out there contacting the family, so I kind of thought, well, they're safe. But then she's missing, too. And it's just weird that it's not connected in any way. What are you talking about, cattle sack? I mean, that's the most ridiculous. I mean, you're not helping at all with a sentence like that. Wonder also announced that someone had been arrested in nearby county on suspicion of murder, but he did not share the suspect's identity or any identifying details about the suspect. Anyone with any information about the disappearances or Taryn's death is asked to call Gem County Sheriff's Office, 208-365-3521. What is, though? What is where I'll find it? I mean, it's just... Oh, God, people like that just drive me nuts, it's unreal. Just type in the thing, okay? Yeah, there's a whole bunch of information. There's Idaho State Journal, East Idaho News. There was the information that I typed in up above there. Yeah, maybe that was what? Okay, I'm going to put this person in timeout. The oldest 2 ran away from a bad situation, leaving the youngest behind to unfortunately be murdered later. Yeah, well, that one, they all wanted to run away, I guess. What are you talking about? New picture of Zozo. What are you talking about? Huh? Man, I almost feel like just freezing the show. I don't know what you guys are even talking about at all. Zozo's not right there. Oh, that different picture. I see. Yeah, you got to go back to your other picture. It's the only one people remember. I'm not really sure at this point. There's a lot of things that could be involved. We don't know. I mean, maybe she abducted the girl and then used her for these guys to come in and assault her. I don't know. A lot of things could be the case. That's something that popped into my head, but I don't wonder like that out loud, because then it goes down rabbit holes. It says I have an excellent connection and it's not buffering on my screen. Why don't you just... Huh? Yeah, change it to a different setting or something. It's not, look. See, here's the actual screen right there. It's not clocking out or anything.
For this is that it is not going to take any questions after my comments. The reason for this is that this is a very active case and an ongoing investigation. It is my top priority to ensure that nothing jeopardizes the investigation. I can confirm that a body has been discovered. That body is pending identification, but it is believed that to be of 8-year-old Taryn Summers, aka Taryn Quinton. A suspect was arrested in Ada County. The body was not found with the other children, 17-year-old Tristan Sexton and 14-year-old Taylor Summers, aka Taylor Quinton.
This is East Idaho News.
The older children were reported as runaways last fall, so we do not believe that they were recently with Taryn. Law enforcement has been in contact with Taylor, and does not believe her to be in danger at this time. Family has been in contact with Tristan Sexton, and law enforcement does not believe him to be in danger at this time. I want to thank everyone for their concern and support during the last few days. I want to thank our state partners, Idaho State Police, and our federal partners, the U.S. Marshal's Office and the FBI. Their time, resources, and effort have made this investigation update possible. At this time, I know you have a lot of questions. I am going to thank you in advance for your patience in getting answers to those questions, as this is still a very active case. The investigation is ongoing. Once we have more information available, we will release it. Thank you.
Wow, that was like almost like Biden at the end there, never answering a damn question. All right, so that is, I think there's one more article on that. See if there's anything different in this one. An Idaho sheriff has said that investigators found what is believed to be the body of an 8-year-old girl who went missing earlier this week, and that a suspect, I mean, you know, the thing is, what's weird is you have 3 people that I guess they all live in the same house that all hate it there apparently and want to run away. Even was so bad that a 8-year-old ran away, and unfortunately the 8-year-old though was encountered by a monster. It just shows you how many monsters are out there waiting for prey to walk by. It's insane. Although I guess it's possible that she didn't run away and that she was actually lured, like she was walking home or something and then was lured. At the time, Tristan was last seen September 10th and Taylor was last seen October 19th. See, isn't that weird that they all, you know, September 10th and then October 19th, the 2 older kids ran away, so they're not even running away close to each other at the same time. But you sort of wonder if Tristan contacted Taylor somehow and said, hey, this is where I'm staying, why don't you come over? Come where I am. So she left. So now you have 2 runaways separated by a certain amount of time. And then later on, Taryn either tried to run away or was just walking and got lured somewhere. It's just kind of strange though, right? It's really weird. It's been weird since I first read about it. That's why I didn't even cover it the first day, because it was like, okay, well, they found the 2 are safe, they're in contact, maybe the other one's with them. Well, that didn't turn out to be the case. Yeah, so the older siblings were located and not in danger. Tristan was recently contacted by family members, and law enforcement officials contacted Taylor. So maybe they're not even together. The older children were reported as runaways last fall, so we don't believe they were recently with Taryn. A suspect in the case was arrested in Ada County, but the sheriffs declined to identify the suspect or give additional details because the case was still under investigation. Wild. Alright, so now I'm going to go on to the 2 cases. I don't know how long it'll take. Probably not incredibly long. I don't know. They arrested that lady. Yeah, I don't know. Something bad must have been going on in the house. I'd like to know if there's a connection with the lady who killed Taryn and the house. The people who lived at the house. Yeah, where'd you read that? It's not in those articles. I just go with the news. It wouldn't shock me if she was found in a car. But the lady that was arrested kind of looks like could be related to her. I mean, it was weird. Same, skin tone, hair color. So the lady that was arrested was the grandma, but she's not related then. Hey, Leah Marie, I don't agree with that. I think if you kill humans, you're even worse, okay? See, notice how, but if you're an abuser of, let's see, an animal abuser, you should be hung. Well, how come you weren't saying that about her when she killed the girl? I mean, come on, everybody. We all love animals, but I don't know what the outrage for animals is always so much greater. It's almost like this sort of test to show how much more caring you are or something. I don't know. Yeah. We'll put the link in there with the article that says that she was found in a trunk and it was her step-grandmother. Hell, maybe that's where they lived. The house that they were found in, maybe that's where all 3 of those kids lived. Because that's where they all went missing from. Let's look at it like that. Doesn't that make more sense than to think that it was just some random intersection? Yeah, so right here, maybe this is the area where they all lived, and that's why they said they all went missing from this area, because they know that the house that they all lived at was right there. And so those 2 kids left. There's probably a horrific abuse going on in there. And what happened was those 2 left, and then the remaining child was actually killed by the same people that were abusing the other 2 that left. Doesn't that make sense? I think that's it. Yeah, that's true. But pit bulls, I don't really call vulnerable. Well, cool, Gen H. Great minds, huh? And I couldn't find the owner. This address, I couldn't locate the address. Let me see if I can find her name again really quick. Where's the one where I had a picture of her? Huh, I wonder why that's covered right there. So, Taryn Summers, aka Taryn Quinton. It's announced that someone has been arrested in a nearby county on suspicion of murder. It's weird. A minute ago, that lady's face was in the same article. Now it's gone. Thanks, Rochelle Black. Yeah, so if you have the link to the, found in the trunk and the lady was the step-grandmother, let me know. I mean, don't hurry or anything. On Monday, and a suspect has been... Man, all of a sudden I can't find her name either. This is just getting weird. She just disappeared out of nowhere. Oh, there it was. Thank you, Kit Kat. Okay, Connie
Chewbacca?
Smith.
Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
I haven't started a wave in a long time. Anyone up for surfing?
Let's do
Smiley
it! Come
face.
on, we gotta get
Surfer.
Well, thanks, Kit Kat. Let's see, www. No. What a unfortunate name, Connie Smith. That's like, there must be 1,000 of those. I mean, 1 million actually live in the United States. All right, let's see. Okay, there's one. There's only one Connie Smith that came up. And there we go. Let's see if this is where this is. Okay, well she lives right there at one point. Tons and tons of addresses here. Let's try them all. Hey, thank you, Tia Marie, Maureen Co, and Carolina T. Ooh, this one's going in the right direction. Oh, and look at that. Boom. One of her addresses is right there. I think we figured this out yesterday, but 1666 Airport Road. So that is her address. We did do this yesterday, right? So we know that she lives in this house. And so maybe it's logical to think that all 3 kids lived there because they said they went missing from this general area. And now we know that one of them went missing from the area, except she was found dead on the property. And like they were saying with, I think Zozo and somebody else said that found in a trunk. Well, maybe it was one of all these cars that are on this property. She was found in one of the trunks there.
Wave is on.
Crazy, huh? I think that's it. I think it's probably a home where they were being abused. 2 escaped. And the other one didn't escape at all. In fact, I bet she never even left the house, but people reported her missing to make it look like she ran away too. Hey, thanks, Lori Staggs. Yeah, I don't think that is something that actually happened. Yeah, that sounds about right, huh, Chad? Thanks, Lori Staggs. Chewbacca?
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
I'm up for some freaky surfing. Heart. Heart.
All right. Trying to see if I can get the... Yeah, I'm trying to get a link for this, so we'll see if we can get one here. Chewbacca. Yeah, everybody should pour your favorite adult beverage tonight. This is Friday night. The end of yet another week. Don't the weeks just zoom by at this point? They do for me. It's like Friday? What? They just literally go by in 2 minutes. Is that good or bad? Hey, Beth, how's it going? Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Yep, just another standard day. Another psycho, disgruntled employee shooting up at work. He literally went postal. Thanks, Kit Kat, and thanks for the wave. Yeah, I've watched the footage. I actually have the footage of the raw footage. There's a website that has the raw footage of that police shooting in Chicago. You know, the guy does turn...
Wonderful and generous freaks. Surfer.
And is fired at right as he's turning, but the officer couldn't see the other hand. Now, the kid was running. He reaches into his pocket by the fence, it looks like, pulls out a gun, and then he tosses the gun, but the officer probably saw that motion reaching for the pocket, and then when he turned, he has to choose, do I fire or just let him turn and fire at me? Okay, so he shot him, and then he really tried to revive the kid. It's really sad because, you know, you could tell the kid wasn't alive. I have the unedited body camera footage.
Surfer.
But you can see the whole thing, and really, to be if he gets charged with anything or even disciplined, I will be outraged. Okay, who should be disciplined are the parents of that kid, and or the other guy that he was with that maybe handed him the gun. We don't know about that. What was weird is in the video you see the cop that shoots the kid run by a guy in a tan jacket who was also one of the criminals, but another officer tackled him. You have his body camera, and then you could sort of time it out and watch the kid on the ground. You could tell that he was watching his friend, the 13-year-old running, and then he gets shot, and then he just kind of goes, you know. Yeah, well, because now it's open season. Now there's no law and order whatsoever, you know. They put in a party of people who really they weren't a law and order campaign whatsoever, and it's just it's going to hell now. It's a freaking nightmare is what it is, you know. Let's see. Yeah, maybe because maybe like felony murder, Super Soda, like in the commission of a felony, another person dies. There you go. I could see that.
Tumbler
They
glass.
should too. Hey, thanks, The Hawk and Dan Carr. Surfa, he said. Yeah, it was unbelievable though when you watch that. The officer had such a short window to decide, and you really can't blame him at all. Especially after you saw what the officer that was killed in New Mexico, It was unbelievable. You know, that seemed like that kind of training, something was weird about allowing somebody to walk around like that. It just didn't make any sense to me to have a space. I think you need to be on the passenger side, have your hand on your gun. I don't give a damn if it's a highway or not, man. You got to be ready to. That just, man, that was terrible. Guy pulls out a automatic weapon and just, you know, shoots the officer, then went over there and shot him multiple times. Then he got back in his truck, drove down the highway. Then another officer went and did like an absolutely high-speed pit maneuver. Then the guy got out of his car, started firing at that officer, and that officer looked like maybe he was hit. I couldn't tell, and he was hiding behind the car. Then everyone else pulled up and just leveled the guy. I mean, it was amazing. It was great. Okay. Yep. All right. Absolute nightmare, this whole thing. And it's all I'm just telling you right now, the media is putting gasoline on the fire every single time. Instead of looking at things rationally, they know what side their bread is buttered on, their toast, right? So they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, creating way more hate and anger than there needs to be. Yeah, that officer, you could tell he felt really bad. He was like, come on, hang in there, buddy. You know, he was really trying to help the kid survive. And, you know, unfortunately, his training for shooting was, the bullet hole is literally right in the center of the breastplate, like right in the center. I mean, it's like, yep, media is totally jacked. All right. Well, I couldn't. Nobody sent me any links regarding her found in a trunk or anything like that. So I'm gonna move on to another story. Oh wait, maybe this is it. Hold on. Okay.
And IdahoNews.com.
Our newscast begins with breaking news as a woman accused of murder appears in court. CBS 2's Trevor Fay is covering this story for us. He's joining us live from the Ada County Jail where Connie Smith is being held. Trevor.
These links are in the description.
Connie Smith of Emmett appeared in court today from here at the Ada County Jail. She was arrested in Ada County yesterday and will be headed back to Jim County soon to be charged with first-degree murder. Now, at this point, neither the Ada County Sheriff's Office nor the Jim County Sheriff's Office will confirm if she is in fact connected to the death of an 8-year-old girl from Emmett. Taryn Summers was reported missing on Monday, and after several days of searching, authorities...
Well, it has to be because she owns the house where she was found at. And, okay, how can you not believe that? Listen, she was arrested. The house that this little girl was found at is the house that lady owns, or at least lived there at one point.
believe they found her body yesterday. They have not revealed where or how the body was found. However, investigators from several agencies could be seen searching a property off of Airport Road in Emmett yesterday afternoon.
Which was owned by the lady arrested.
The sheriff's office asked for help in finding Taryn and her two siblings.
See, that's what would be cool if they actually could say that. And at one point, that address is associated with the person that was arrested.
17-year-old Tristan Sexton and 14-year-old Taylor Summers, saying they disappeared from a home in that area. Both Tristan and Taylor were reported as runaways last fall. The Jim County Sheriff says they've been in contact with family members and they aren't believed to be in danger at this time. And again, it's unknown if Connie Smith is connected to this case, but we will continue to reach out to the Jim County Sheriff's Office for more information and updates. Reporting live in Boise, Trevor Fay, CBS 2 News.
Meanwhile, a candlelight vigil will be held tomorrow night.
Alright, and there's one more possible. Alright, let's see, what is this one? This is April 15th, yesterday. Investigators say they have found the body believed to be that of the child. During Thursday evening news conference, Gem County Sheriff Wonders said the remains still need to be identified, but they think it's her. A suspect was arrested. Ada County Wonder said in Ada County. And she was arrested on first-degree murder charges. Taryn's sibling, 16-year-old, let's see. Law enforcement has been in contact with Taylor, does not believe her to be in danger. Investigators have said little about the case, but East Idaho News uncovered court documents that show that Taylor, Taryn, and a younger sibling all tested positive for hard drugs in 2019. Wow. Leading to an injury to a child conviction against their mother. The mother's current spouse is currently in Idaho Department of Correction, custody on an unrelated case. Family members have said on social media that the children were not living with her mother at the time of their disappearance. Well, then who's this lady then? Like a foster parent? Man, you gotta be kidding me. I hate this shit, man. You go from one nightmare to another, right? I mean, if this is what it is, if that's a foster parent that all the kids ran away from it and then one ends up dying, Jesus. Family members have said on social media that the children were not living with their mother at the time of their disappearance. I want to thank everyone for their concern and support during the last few days, Wonders said. At this time, I know you have a lot of questions. I'm going to thank you in advance for your patience. Wow. Now the aunt was trying, so all the kids were taken from the two parents because they did drugs. They were on drugs themselves. They were taken from the parents, then they were put into foster care, and the foster family was worse than the parents that they came from. And then during that time, if what Zozo's saying is right, the aunt was trying to get custody of them. Yeah, now that's right. Well, we just read that they're all siblings. Yeah. Yeah. What a nightmare, man. This thing just got way worse. Way worse. Unbelievable. I'll put this link in the description too. Oh man. Yeah, it's just, how does that happen? Where you go, doesn't CPS or any of these people really check them out? I mean, as soon as you took them to a house that had all these broken down cars out in front, maybe you'd think differently. And why didn't you give them to the aunt? Just right off the get-go. Why didn't you look for a family that they could live with? At least a relative of some kind. Instead, you put them in a freaking nightmare scenario. Anyways, wow. I don't even know what to say. It's just got really bad, really fast, way worse. Because now the scenario that I came up with randomly seems like that's even more accurate. That they were here at some weird foster family. They all tried to escape. 2 of them managed to get away, and then the younger one, I don't even think tried to run away. I think somebody here probably just reported her as missing, and in reality, and said, "Oh yeah, and I saw her walking down the street. Yeah." But in reality, was dead here the whole time. You'd think, though, that they wouldn't be that stupid. And I guess it's, well, it must be, first-degree murder means it's intentional. I was thinking maybe the girl went in the trunk and died somehow. Because it seems really stupid, criminal-minded-wise, that you wouldn't have moved the body during the days people were looking. You know, like, why would you leave her body on your property? Well, thank God that they're stupid, okay? Because that's how they were able to make an arrest quick. Makes you wonder, though, if they arrested her, then they, based on the arrest, they probably got word in their investigation through comments made by the two older siblings to relatives that they were being absolutely abused in that house. And that's what led police to that property to check for the other sibling. And they might have even mentioned, I think she's in, you know, she might be in trouble. She might be in trouble. And they mentioned to somebody, and then that led back to the police to go back there. I bet that's how it worked. Yeah. All right, you guys. I'm gonna switch stories now. I'm about ready to just. I don't know, man. That story just makes me so angry. It feels like it's going to end up being very similar to the Hart family case, other than the sheer number of deaths. Yeah, probably, Tia. What do you think, Leah? She's probably like, what? You talking to me? Look at that. The last 10 comments are all, or 15 are from channel members and mods. Now we're talking about a case in Idaho. I know it's not the Watts case or the ones everybody talk about every 2 seconds. No, I don't have any drink yet. I probably will bust one out later, though. It is Friday, isn't it? I think so, too, Jennifer. I think that I don't trust foster parents anymore at all. I think they need to be, I would say, like once a week. You go over there, but not scheduled, but once a week. And you immediately get to take the child aside and ask questions. That's it. And let the kids say what the hell's really going on. Because you know how that works, right? Hey, okay, they're coming over today at 3 o'clock. Everybody go clean up your rooms really quick. Hey, get that meth off the counter over there. Hey, go to the grocery store and put some food in the refrigerator. Do this and that and the other, you know, all this bullshit. And then it looks like, oh, what a lovely, and you better not say anything or you get a big whooping when they leave. So you just sit right there, right? Nope, can't have it that way. Yeah. All right, you guys, I'm going to move over to these other cases. All right? But hell, maybe I should go get a drink right now. This is, I need one at this point. This is ridiculous. I don't even want one. I just need one. I'm kidding. Yeah, something seems strange about this one right out the get-go, doesn't it? Thanks, Lee D. I'm having a Gatorade and gin. Doesn't taste that good. Yeah, it's not too bad. Hey, let me say this. I'm going to tell you guys this right now. If you ever call in, I'm never going to ask you, what are your pronouns? Okay?
Tumbler glass.
That'll be something I never ask. I'm sorry if that offends you. Alright? Hey, Beth, it's something, okay? Come on. Yeah, I will never be asking you that question. Hi, great to have you on. What are your pronouns? Okay, fantastic. No. That is the good stuff. All right, everybody, I'm switching over to a 1971 case here. Both of these two tonight are in Maine. All right. It's a weird story, actually. Just kind of how it all played out. You guys ready? You watched what? Right. Awesome. Okay, here we go. A Farmington police officer Thursday morning uncovered the partially decomposed body of a young girl believed to be that of Judith Hand, 15-year-old local girl who has been missing since September 10th. So she was missing for about 2 weeks, according to the state police detective, Sergeant Gerald Boutier, probably. The girl's body was discovered by Harold Hemingway, a member of a search party, checking through a swampy area about 200 yards off Middle Street and about 75 to 100 yards from the Kappa Delta Phi fraternity house of the University of Maine in Farmington campus. I spent like 2 hours trying to actually find that fraternity, and I don't even know if it's still there. It just... Anyways, and then I just read a little later in the article, and I found it gave another description. But Hemingway said he was checking the area around, around a something sawdust pile, and felt something was amiss by the way the material was piled up. Poking down through 4 or 5 inches of the sawdust, hold on. Come on, open up. There it is. That's the girl right there. Poking down through 4 inches of the sawdust disclosed a partially decomposed female body, believed to be that of the Hand girl, object of a search by various law enforcement agencies since she was last seen September 9th, about 3 p.m. The body was taken to the Thayer Hospital in Waterville, where an autopsy is to be performed by pathologist Dr. Irving Goodoff. Sergeant Boudier said that the autopsy hopefully will determine the exact cause of death. We are working under the assumption that this is the Hand girl, and we will until something comes up to prove otherwise. The spot where the body was found was about a half mile from where she lived with her 5 brothers and 3 sisters, plus her parents. So she's got a lot of siblings out there. The father was described as being critically ill. That's right. Well, you know, it's weird when I read that, because I went on to Ancestry.com and I saw that the dad had died in 1972, which was literally, just months later. The father was described as being critically ill and as being disabled for the past several months. The missing girl is the 4th oldest child and was described by Police Chief Raymond B. Orr as quiet, a member of a family that worked together. The sawdust pile was described as being unused for at least 20 years. Wow. About 25 to 30 feet high, about 60 feet long, and roughly 40 feet across. The area adjacent to the sawdust pile is interlaced with paths, Chief Orr said, but added that the nearest path was about 50 feet away and through pucker brush. If the Hand girl's death is a murder, as the Attorney General Department is calling it, it would be the first murder in Farmington in 40 years. Is there any similarity between the death of the Farmington girl and Mary Olenchuk of Kennan Bunkport on Cyrus Everett, or of... God, man, there's a whole bunch of names. Let's see. Are there any leads that investigators are working out? Boudier declined to comment on this or whether the body was partially clad or wholly unclad, stating that the investigation is being directed by Richard Cohen. A search for the missing blue-eyed blonde has gone on since she was last seen about 3 p.m. near the Farmington Municipal Building. So let's see where that is. I gotta get to the right. Right there. There we go. Alright, so this is Middle Street. There's some references to that. Let me see now. These are 2 addresses that I found that the mother lived at after, obviously the husband died. And let's see if that's about a half mile. Because it might have been even closer. Yeah, look at that. So that's 0.61. So I think this might be where they lived at the time. They lived here once and then this apartment complex in this little town of Farmington, Maine. See? And I think it was in this wooded area right here. I don't know where the sawdust pile was or anything like that. But, you know, we're talking 50 years ago. I mean, almost to the day, right? Wow. Well, not really. It was September 24th. But, you know, almost 50 years. Yeah. And it's weird how they mentioned that fraternity house. So the mother lived here one time too, but it wouldn't make sense because apparently she was going to babysit and she was on Middle Street right there. And this up here makes sense. Like, what if she walked like this, down like that, and then was on Middle Street and somebody noticed her there. Then she went missing and then her body was found over here. Alright, so the next article is a pretty long one here. Is this interesting to you guys? Just checking in. Hey, Dana Dane. One of the artists. Alright. The badly decomposed body of 15-year-old Judith E. Hand of the small, quiet Franklin County College town failed to provide investigators any clues as to the cause of her death or when it occurred. Uncovered Thursday morning from its shallow grave in a sawdust pile by a local police officer, the body was given a post-mortem examination. It says OST, but they left out the P there. At the Thayer Hospital by Dr. Irving I. Goodoff. However, the examination failed to disclose anything due to its advanced stage of decomposition. Hey, thank you very much. The Hawk. Well, sometimes I just wonder if they are, you know, to some people. Because I don't do Chris Watts or any of that crap.
All the cases are interesting.
Dr. Goodoff told me there was no way to make it an anatomical determination of the cause of death or whether the body had been assaulted criminally. Yes, he said, we are still treating this as a homicide, as a 7-member team of the State Police Homicide Squad was completing their first full day of investigating the mysterious disappearance and equally baffling death of Judith Hand. Cohen said that we are not at a dead end. Actually, we are just getting started in our investigation. The first hours of checking residents along Middle Street, the street on which the Hand girl lived. Oh, so she lived on Middle Street. So that's not where I have that address. Lived with their 5 brothers and 3 sisters. Disclosed nothing. At least nothing that Cohen would reveal. The investigation includes coordinators Lawrence Vig of Farmington, a sergeant. Let's see. Are there any, many, or a few similarities to the unsolved and apparent murder of Mary Olenchuk and the Hand girl? Cohen was asked. Answering, Cohen said, I have not had the chance to check this out as yet, but I believe the only similarities would be the fact that both were young girls. There was some time between the disappearance of the 2 and the discovery of their bodies, and that both were found either buried or covered up. The Olenchuk girl was found buried under some hay. Oh, that's interesting. The Hand girl was covered with several inches of sawdust and a large pilt of sawdust on the outskirts of Farmington. The body was located about 75 to 100 yards off Lincoln Street. Okay, so this is Lincoln Street. And this is the only place that makes any sense at all. But we don't know what it looked like back then. I mean, let's go back to 1990 something. See, it's still really wooded there, and so it said 75 to 100 yards. That's how long that line is right there. Off Lincoln Street between 9 and 9:30 a.m. Thursday by a search team member, Harold Hemingway. He is a member of the local police force, a constable for the town, and a member of the security police squad for the Farmington campus of the University of Maine complex. It's a little bit odd, he's an officer though, that's why he found her, I guess. The Hand girl had left home about mid-afternoon on September 10th, a Friday, to go to West Farmington on a babysitting job, and was last seen at about 3 p.m. on Middle Street near the town's community building. Not sure if that's still there. Let's see. Farmington Community Center. If it's on that street right there. Oh, there you go. Still there. Yep. So she was seen right there. Last seen on Middle Street. So there you go. That's where she was last seen. That's the community building. I'll put a pin on that. So she went there. She was heading that direction to go babysitting. It is at this point in time and sequence of events that the VGLED team of investigators are starting their investigation. The sawdust pile where the searcher Hemingway found the body of the shy Miss Hand is about 200 to 300 yards from Middle Street. Yeah, so it definitely is. If you go from here, just start right there and go down here, we're looking at, that's 259, that's 300 yards, so almost exactly the distance that it had from Lincoln Street. I'm not sure why they need to say that, but it's not really that far. The area where the grisly discovery was made Thursday is located in an alder swale that is located with paths and trails, local police chief Raymond B. Orr commented Thursday. He said, however, that the sawdust pile is about 50 feet from the nearest path. The shallow grave is located less than 100 yards from the Kappa Delta Chi fraternity house. That's what I couldn't locate. I couldn't find the actual address of that. I don't know if it's still there. It doesn't seem like they have a Greek community there. Hopefully the Greek communities are just disappearing. That whole concept was ridiculous. I mean, maybe the concept wasn't bad, but the actual practice of it was ridiculous, okay? She was quiet one, and that they stick together, the family does, and tragically one in which the father of the large family is in critical condition and unable to work. Wonder what's going on with him. And these are the officers looking at an aerial map. I wish I could see that, and we'd know exactly what it looked like back then. Oh, hell, let me look at something. See, a lot of these buildings are really old, but I can kind of see a shape right there. See that little L-shaped deal? That looks like a building. I just want to see if that exists. I don't really see that. It does kind of look like they're looking at it like almost about like that. Who knows? Well, thanks, Foxy Lady. Yep. Yeah. It's weird how many cases there are out there. It's just, it's unreal. Alright, so that was September 24th, the 26th. Now we're going to October 18th. They didn't seem like they covered it every single day for some reason. Detective Dale Ames and Lyndon Abbott of Clinton. Saturday's shooting is the second Central Maine death currently under investigation by the state police. Veig is also conducting an investigation into the death of Judith E. Hand, a 15-year-old girl in Farmington, about September 10th. Her body was found buried in a shallow grave and sawdust pile a short distance from where she was last seen. No clues have been uncovered in the slaying, which went undetected for almost 2 weeks. Despite extensive searches conducted by Farmington and Franklin County, you sort of wonder if there was some, it wouldn't shock me a bit if a fraternity guy drunk out of his mind or something did something. It wouldn't shock me a bit. A lot of psychos. Then this is November 1971, a couple months later. State investigators continue their probes into the recent deaths of 2 young girls, reviewing evidence and checking leads. There are no startling developments in either case, Cohen said, but the investigations into the homicidal deaths of Judith E. Hand of Farmington and Catherine R. Murphy, a Colby College co-ed at Waterville, whose home was in West, Oneonta or something like that. Oneonta, I think that was right. Oneonta, New York, are still proceeding. Miss Hand was found in late September, buried in a pile of sawdust, 2 weeks after she disappeared on her way to a babysitting job. I couldn't even find any articles about when they were looking for her. Farmington radio station WKJT owned by Eldon Denny Shute, and the Franklin Journal, Franklin County's weekly newspaper, have combined to post a $5,000 reward. That's a ridiculous amount of money for back then. That's probably $50,000 or so. Supplying information leading to the conviction of Judith's killer. In Waterville, the investigation is centered around the death of a New York co-ed attending college. I wonder if that one's been solved. Catherine Murphy, let's see. Fraternity's alive and well. Why did her name show up under fraternity? Let's see. Last week's indictment of Alan Pelletier on charges that he murdered a Colby freshman in 1971 has rekindled memories of one of Colby's saddest times. According to those who were at the Colby 14 years ago, the memories of Catherine Murphy's death are still vivid. So it sounds like they made an arrest in that one. She was found in a ravine 35 feet from Mayflower Hill Drive. An autopsy revealed that the death was caused by multiple skull fractures, apparently due to a blow by a large blunt object. Local and state police questioned Mayflower Hill Drive residents and Colby students and discovered that Murphy was last seen the previous afternoon, November 2nd at 4:45 after visiting her friends on Park Street. The murder had a definite effect on Colby College. But anyway, it sounds like they made an arrest in that one. I think it was probably because it's on a college campus. This girl's only 15 though. Authorities at first, let's see, in Waterville the investigation is centered around the death of, The authorities at first felt the death was a result of a hit and run accident, but evidence, which authorities declined to disclose at the present time, had led them to now classify the death as a homicide. I think that was the other case that we were just talking about, Catherine. Yeah. It almost seems like this one kind of went cold pretty quick, right? Yeah. So here we go. Judith Hand's parents are grateful for their newly obtained luxuries of running water and refrigerator, things which most people take for granted. But their daughter's murderer is still at large, and there are no outstanding suspects, police say. Judith E. Hand, 15, of Upper Middle Street in Farmington, disappeared on September 10th at 3 p.m. She never reached her destination in West Farmington, where she was to babysit for some relatives. 13 days later, her badly decomposed body was found in a sawdust pile several blocks from where she was last seen. About $4,500 was collected to help the Hand family pay for the funeral. What was left over paid for the well and a refrigerator. The first murder in Farmington in 40 years has hit many people in the quiet little town hard. A resident near the sawdust pile has discussed with a neighbor sharing the expense of putting up floodlights in their adjoining yard, and mothers steadfastly refused to allow their children to walk half a block after dark or even alone to the school bus stop. Man, doesn't that just sound familiar, right? The murder has definitely affected our family and friends to a great extent. Before it happened, we thought by living in a town like Farmington, we were immune to this sort of thing. Now we know we're not, commented one of the mothers. Teachers at Mount Blue Junior High School, pressured by many parents, are eliminating after-school detention for student offenders, or at least making sure they can get a bus home. One teacher said several times, "I have given rides to students who have had to stay late. Their parents don't want them walking for any reason." Because of Judith Hand's murder, some people's attitudes towards the police have changed for the worse. Their confidence has been shaken. Said one outraged resident who is a neighbor of the Hand family, "I don't think we're getting our money's worth out of the authorities. Here we pay these people to do a job, and they refuse to do anything for 19 days. Or maybe it was 10 days. Now it's probably too late." One concerned mother's opinion was expressed time and again. The fact that the police were so slow in getting started, in looking for her, is most disturbing. Had they not waited so long, she might have been found alive. Well, I don't think so. She was buried under, she was probably killed then buried, right, in a shallow grave. I think that's the pressure in the local newspaper to find the girl was what made the police finally look for her. It's pretty bad when a newspaper has to pressure the police into doing their job. Hey, thanks, Amy Fountain. On September 21st, Mickey McGuire asked in the column from this corner in the Franklin Journal Farmington local newspaper what the authorities were doing and what was taking so long. 2 days after the column appeared, two game wardens joined in a mass organized search, and the decomposed body of Judith Hand was found, prompting McGuire to comment they needed a game warden who knew how to organize a posse from the start. If she'd been found right away, the evidence wouldn't have been destroyed, which it was. Yeah, that part sucks. During the time Judith Hand was missing, lack of communication between the police and the public seemed to be the order of the day. While people thought nothing was being done to find the girl, the police, according to Chief Raymond Orr of Farmington, had been conducting searches with the local fire department and volunteers. The day after she was missing, we searched the sawdust pile, and later we dredged the river, said the chief. I feel the public has been less than willing to cooperate with us on this case. I just can't believe anyone can vanish into the thin air in broad daylight. Someone must have noticed something. Often people think things that might have... Well, here's the problem. You know, when she was missing, people aren't really thinking about stuff. If you had found her, people would remember what they did the day before. Okay? But now it's 2 weeks later, and people are like, It's kind of like, not to bring up Delphi again, but, talking about the car parked at the abandoned CPS building, 2 years later. Who in the hell's even remembers anything like that? Let's see. Whether the person was from the area or just passing through. It's kind of hard to picture somebody just passing through. Kind of a random small little... Hey, thanks, Jamie McLaughlin. Boom. Yeah, where you been? Yes, family needs come first. Hey, thank you very much. I'm glad I'm looking at it right now. Oh, see, even then. I wasn't ready for it right at that second, okay? Ah, man.
Miss you all. We'll be back soon. Family needs come first. True crime community rocks.
Yes, family comes first. Thank you. Mrs. Hand and a close neighbor differ with the authorities on the significant point. Knowing Judy, I'd say she must have known the person. She was an extremely shy girl and would never take a ride from a stranger. And I knew she didn't run away, which is what they kept trying to tell me in the beginning. She just wasn't that type. Her neighbor emphatically agrees on this. Judy wouldn't even take a ride with my wife, whom she knew. She must have just been abducted, like grabbed. But right in the middle of the day at 3 o'clock on a college campus? Man, that just... A reward fund in excess of $5,300 set up the Franklin Journal and radio station. Yeah, let's see. The response to the reward, according to police, has been surprisingly small. Right, well... Thankfully, back then, people responded if they actually knew something. Now people respond to rewards with anything. Hey, have you guys considered alien abduction at this point, sir? Now, let me send in a tip. I saw, when I looked, it was in the middle of August, I looked up in the sky and I saw some lights shooting by, and I was just wondering if it's possible that one of those was an alien spacecraft that came down and, yeah. See, that's well, sure. You know what? It is possible. It's it's 1 in a trillion, but yes, that is possible. And let's yeah. All right. So then, 10 years later, there's an article, and this is just mentioned here as one of the ones. State probes. Now, I actually stored these 33 cases on another. Put the link up above, so now I'm going to look at some of those because there's a whole bunch of them. Maine, you'd think Maine would be sort of off the beaten path of killings and serial killers, but man, they got a lot. So anyway, she was just mentioned in this one as being one of the victims that's not solved. Then 1988, investigators to reopen case of slain Farmington teenager. So now they're going to reopen it. This is 17 years later. Yeah. Police investigators are reopening the case of the killing of a young Farmington girl more than 17 years ago, according to state police spokesman Stephen McCausland. New evidence has surfaced in the case. Man, I wish we could know what that was. Judith Hand, 15, disappeared while walking to a babysitting job on the afternoon of September 10, 1971. She was a 9th grader at Mount Blue Junior High School and lived on Middle Street in Farmington. So she probably, if they say she was a mile from where she was found, I guess you could do something like this. And she was going to go babysit in West Farmington. So let's just say, if we took, just guessing that the property's right there, and we'll switch it over to miles. If we just go where she was found was right there. Half mile. So that would maybe, like over around in this area, something. So she probably lived somewhere right up in here. Just a approximate. Because that's Middle Street. So she walked down Middle Street. She was last seen right there, but she was heading over to here somewhere. "12 days later in let's see. Turning up no clues according to the report." So there was no clues back then. 12 days later, in an indentation in a sawdust pile led to the discovery of Hand. That seems like such a crazy find to just notice something like that on a sawdust pile. No cause of death was discovered, but authorities termed the death a homicide. Sergeant Nolan Wilcox of the Farmington Police Department said that he would be working with 3 state police detectives this week to review the files of the homicide. Wilcox said he and the detectives would be reviewing material gathered during the past 17 years, as well as following up any new leads. Interviews also will be conducted, he said. Wilcox would not reveal what the new evidence was that prompted the reopening of the case. Newspaper articles at the time of the killing said that the blonde, blue-eyed girl was babysitting to help out with family expenses. McCausland urges anyone with any information about the death to contact the state police. All right, then we've got a 1990 article. This one actually has it's not really even an article. It was a longer article with just a small thing about her, but that's her right there. Poor girl. According to police, there had been little progress in solving the St. Peter murder. Equally frustrating is the unsolved homicide of Judith E. Hand, 15, of Farmington, a student at Mount Blue Junior High School. Let's see where that is. Oh, right there. That's really close to where where maybe she lived. Well, thanks, Jamie. Yeah, we're always here to hang out, take your mind off or whatever. Yeah, so this is kind of where she was walking down the street. Probably didn't quite look absolutely the same since it was 50 years ago. So it was reopened just 2 years prior to that. Then 1997. Yeah, so still, Lillian Hand remembers the day her daughter disappeared. Lillian passed away in 2013, by the way. So she never got to see justice. She lived a long time, though. She was like 85 or something. The pain is still there, and it always will be. It's there every day, and it just breaks my heart. On September 23rd, 1971, 13 days after she disappeared, Judith Hand's badly decomposed body was found. Police say the 15-year-old was murdered, but to this day, no one has been charged. I hope they find who did it and make them pay, make them suffer as much as we have. There's no reason somebody should take another person's life. Not like that. Hand can't imagine what happened to her daughter. She wouldn't ride with anyone. She wouldn't get into a car with anyone. Not even people she knew. Judith was last seen by her mother about 2:30 p.m. on Friday. She left for her job in Wilton, where she worked second shift as a croquet set stripper. Wow, that's kind of an interesting job. She was riding with friends who offered to take Judith to her babysitting job. Let's see. She was riding with friends who offered to take Judith to her babysitting job across town, but Judith said she would rather walk. See, that's one of those moments. We always have these moments. Isn't that weird almost, right? Isn't it strange that we always seem to in these cases there's this moment where if somebody had just done something differently, everything would have been different. But Judith said she would rather walk. She walked with two friends part of the way. That was the last anyone saw of her. So the friends must have actually, they're the ones that said we last saw her where we dropped her off in front of the community building. The next day, wardens, firefighters, police, and volunteers began searching for the girl. They found her body on September 23rd. Police never released the cause of death, but immediately ruled it a homicide. Authorities say releasing the cause of death would hamper the investigation. Really? Today, still? Maine State Police Detective Mark Lopez now heads the investigation in the teen's death. In 1971, police interviewed 7 suspects. While not all the suspects were cleared of suspicion, police did not have enough evidence to make an arrest. Mrs. Hand said she still gets calls from people who say they have information. You mean like psychics? Okay. Yeah, so I had her. Yeah, this is from 2020. So just a small little blurb. Well, just do what you're doing in there. I gotta do these stories. They're in the title. So this is just a quick. She would then leave her home in Farmington, Maine, to collect babysitting money and go babysit. She walked halfway there with friends, and when offered a ride, said she preferred to walk. She never returned. Well, it's the reverse of that. Her parents reported her missing at 8:15. On September 23rd, 1971, her body was found under sawdust pile located off High Street in Farmington. Oh, now they're saying off of High Street. See, now maybe we got the exact area. Oh, see, there you go. There's High Street. So now it makes sense. Lincoln Street, High Street. So if they're saying off of High Street, maybe it's closer to like over here. I'll go with that. Wouldn't that be crazy if the sawdust pile was still there? What happened here? Why is it doing this? Yeah, it probably looks totally different. They did say berm or something, so maybe down in there. Wild. And it's, you know, people are still talking about it out there. It's on Facebook in 2019. That's her again. Right there. Alright. Alright, so we'll take a break for a few minutes till we do the next one. Alright. Yeah. How's it going? Yeah, well, this is just another one of the... It's so weird to me because it was a college town. And didn't anybody see something? I'd like to know where she was supposed to babysit. Because obviously she kept walking towards where she was babysitting. You kind of wonder if it was over here somewhere. And then she kind of walked down. It was West Farmington. This is Farmington, so west, you know, probably ends at the river there. So it would be just right over, I would imagine, somewhere right in this stretch. But if she was found there, maybe she wandered a little too far down here. Well, where are you, Beth? You're supposed to party now, right? Oh, you gotta... Oh, man. Sciatic sucks. Yeah, maybe something like that, or maybe it was like a fraternity guy that was really drunk. Oh, I'm not doing shots. I know, unless it was a college student, they're going to be 75, 80 years old at this point. Maybe even older. But I wonder why they can't say how she was killed. It would give up information. I might have to call over there, actually. Maybe they're willing to give it out now. What I might do though is actually contact some of the family members. There's a whole bunch of them, and maybe they know the answers to those questions. All right. Well, what are we supposed to be doing now? Just hanging out? Maybe I can find the end of that Blazer game, see what happened. Oh, okay, there it is. I just want to watch that last.
Boston on Tuesday. Right. Oh, let the Buffalo roll! Set up defense. Nurkic out front. Inside, getting loose is Powell.
There we go.
But he's a great passer. Set up defense. Nurkic out front. Inside, getting loose is Powell.
Hey, nice.
But he's a great passer. DeRozan, tough shot. Got it off the window.
106-103.
Spurs by 3. Inside a minute. McCollum. The pump fake. He counters with a 2. Wow, it out. Lonnie Walker with 3. Taken away. Oh, almost a carry. Covington. Powell. Blocked by Pearl.
Oh, and it went in anyway.
DeRozan. Pirtle slaps it out. White. 7 seconds. Rudy Gay with 4. He fires. Pirtle has to shoot it.
There we go.
No whistle.
Thank you.
Blazers win.
There we go. Right at the end there. Oh well. Oh, you're the daughter? Okay. Yep, positive vibes out there. Yeah, it seems like she was in pretty bad shape. So the party time is really for people to put in all the negative things that are happening in their lives, huh? I thought it was like, hey everybody, stop and party and you know, have some happy time. Yeah. Thanks, Claudia Dubauer. Yeah, I'm just chilling out, waiting for the party time to end. I mean, boy, it's just been absolutely a riot. Oh man. Oh yeah, it's hopping. Yeah, well, what are you doing? Oh wait, here we go. Okay, I think it's the music. That's what's sucking. I'm just gonna put on my debunking music. Yeah, party time. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, that's right, everybody. If you want party time, you get a hold of good old Baba up there and give her a call. She'll get you set up with shots of tequila, vodka, anything you can want. Oh yeah, that's right. wasn't doing the shots.
Hey everybody, what about me? Don't I get to have some fun too? Yay! Alright everybody, go get your drinks. Go get your drinks, everybody. Hey, alright, look at Claudia Neubauer. Thank you, Claudia Neubauer. The #1 fan, look at that.
Yep, yeah.
Oh, hey. Hello?
Yeah, me. I got something funny for you guys. My wife was making some sort of a, I don't know, like she was going to try to grow cucumbers and make pickles. And she was drilling holes on the bottom of one of those plastic garbage cans. And I went out, I looked through the door and I go, what is she doing? She's drilling holes. But it didn't look right to me. So I went out there and she was literally drilling holes in plastic with a Phillips screwdriver head on a drill. And she was actually getting the holes drilled. But I said, what the hell are you doing? What's going on here? And I said, that's not what you're supposed to be using. And then I gave her a drill, and she was like, zoom, zoom, really fast. And then she went, she started laughing. Because what she was doing, it would take like a minute a hole because she was pressing a Phillips screwdriver into the plastic. Okay? Yeah, well, she got the drill out, and then it was like, you know. And then she started laughing at that one. But hey, now she knows, right? Yeah. There you go, Beth. That's your music right there, huh? Come on. Yep, she got it done. All right, start getting low. That's right, Bush and Beach lifestyle. Yeah, Tracy, get some of that pole dancing. Yeah, I bet you would. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, she already drilled like 9 holes into that plastic with a Phillips head on. I was like, how did you do that? Oh, you already did 20 before that?
No, probably just 3.
No, I looked on there. It was like 8 or 9 with the Phillips head.
I used the camera in, first.
Oh, I see. So what she did before was she used a hammer and a nail, and then she put the Phillips in there to make it bigger. I see. Okay. Well, that kind of makes sense. That's actually pretty ingenious. Yeah. I'm trying to figure what these other songs are. There we go. No, that's not good. Oh yeah, yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, so she used a hammer and then put the Phillips in there and put it in a drill that made it bigger. That's right, it's like Captain Kirk, you know? He always figured out how to get shit done. Spock was always, you know, he wanted it all technical crap. Yeah, does sound like Nintendo. With Mario? Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person.
One person?
That is a
crime dissector, thug rejector,
certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya.
Oh, this is it without it, yeah.
See what this one is over here. Oh yeah!
Yeah! This is PIR, Portland International Raceway, with the biggest thing since the Pinewood Drag. Yes, we have Rod Laver, a retired astronaut with his hydroelectric car. Yes, it's guaranteed to rip up the road right in front of your face. We also have Jim Hansen with his Beavermobile, the only car that'll knock down trees at 200 miles an hour. Trials from 6 and 7 be there. Oh yes, and Beth with her funny car. It'll go 4 miles an hour and still jump over a river.
That's right, everybody. All right, Jamie McLaughlin. Sister McLaughlin. Hey, CC. Hey, look at that. The little dancer there. That's Caspian Horses Rock. Dottie-O, Caspian Horses Rock, Lemon Dancer. Look at us going with the beat, though. Look at that. A party. You know what I'm saying? What the hell is this? Yeah, I just found out, like, today I was out in the backyard and I heard a chicken making noises in my neighbor's yard. It was a rooster. Man, if that thing ever wakes me up, man, there's gonna be hell to pay. Hey, wow, thanks, Jamie. Thank you, Jamie McLaughlin.
So needed this beat. THX Sky.
Oh yeah? The one we're on right now, this one? Okay, I'm gonna do the ad one more time.
This is PIR, Portland International Raceway, with the biggest thing since the Pinewood Drag. We have Rod Laber, a retired astronaut. With his hydroelectric car, it's guaranteed to rip up the road right in front of your face. We also have Jim Hansen with his Beavermobile, the only car that'll knock down trees at 200 miles an hour. Trials from 6 and 7B there. Oh, and watch Zozo with their hang glider and a race car driver, Baba. yeah.
No, they're not going to bring me any eggs. Yep. Anyways, I gotta get back to the last story. It shouldn't take that long, but I gotta get to that one. Alright? Notice how when we started doing the partying part, we went from 160 people watching to 112. That's why I don't do that too often. Because there were probably people that were interested in the other stuff. And now when somebody goes and watches this, they're going to go, wow, what in the hell was that part in the middle? Right? Yeah. Those party poopers. All right, the last one is Janet Brochu. All right, I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's Brochu. Anybody? What isn't good, Amber? I don't know what you're saying. I don't even know what I said now. Smiles all around. So happy. Bitch is not watching. I don't know who that is. Yeah, but you know, that just means the people who left aren't people that they're not the freak family member types, you know, that hang out. They were just sort of lingering in the background, but that's okay. You know, just doing what I'm doing. It's a Friday night. All right, so I'm going to do this one now. Plus, if I had just put Chris Watts or something in the title, there would have been 400 people. Okay. The body of a Winslow woman missing since December 23rd, so 2 days before Christmas, was discovered in the Sespastacook River, never heard of it, in Pittsfield about 6:30 a.m. Friday morning. The body of Janet Brochu, 20, was discovered by Pittsfield resident Christopher Anthony while he was checking his hydropower station at the Waverly Avenue Dam. Yeah, so I think I have that location. So here's the Waverly. This is Waverly Avenue. That's the dam. He was checking on something. And I would imagine if she was thrown in over the bridge, she would have drifted down this way. So he found her body somewhere down in here. And this is where she lived. I looked it up. This is 1987, December 23rd. So right there in this house. I think it's always weird when you can just sort of see where they lived and everything. You can just sort of picture them walking out the house. Or after an autopsy at Kennebec Valley Medical Center in Augusta, Lieutenant Charles Love of the Criminal Investigation Division of the Maine State Police was unable to give the cause of death. The autopsy was conducted by Assistant Chief Medical Examiner Ronald Roy. Love said the medical examiner would conduct additional toxicology tests with the expectation of determining a cause of death. Love said that based on the missing person report, police believe that Brochu's body had been in the water since she was reported missing. So, I mean, she was found 3 months later. So she went missing on December 23rd, but she was found on March 18th. So that's 4 months right there. Brochu was last seen alive in a Waterville restaurant and lounge on December 23rd. According to news reports about her disappearance, Brochu spent the evening at a bowling alley, drinking and bowling with friends, where she met two men bowling in the next lane. After bowling, the group gathered at T. Woody's in the Waterville Concourse. So I couldn't find T. Woody's anymore, but apparently this is the concourse, like maybe this area here. So I don't know. The T. Woody's doesn't exist anymore. She reportedly left the lounge. Let's see. So T. Woody's in Waterville Concourse. Brochu was refused service at the lounge. Wow, that means she was pretty drunk. Oh wait, no. Well, because she was underage and was asked to leave, the report said. That sounds totally different than reports that come up later. She reportedly left the lounge in the company of one of the men she met earlier. Okay, this part is similar. Who offered her a ride home. He reportedly returned to the lounge to retrieve her pocketbook. But why wouldn't she have done that? Right? Telling her friends that he was giving her a ride home. The man later told investigators that upon returning to Brochu, like she would have been outside when he went in to get the purse, Brochu's friends, let's see. He was giving her a ride home. The man later told investigators that upon returning to Brochu, he found her ill. So immediately, all of a sudden, she's sick and refused to give her a ride. Brochu's friends reportedly did not leave the bar for another 45 minutes. Brochu was a severe diabetic, though, so that's a real thing, in need of regular insulin, report said. Love said the investigation into Brochu's disappearance will be reviewed and continued depending on the cause of death. Yeah, that whole thing sounds kind of... sounds pretty dicey. Police continue investigation. This is 2 days later. The investigation into the death of Janet Brochu, 20, whose body was found Friday in the Sebastian River. Whoa! Holy crap. Is that new or? Wow, thanks, Mag. That was very cool.
Been trying to surfer for an hour. My Wi-Fi sucks. Love Gray and the Freak family. _ basic generous.
Well, thank you very much. It's going to help out a lot at the end of the month. Looks like Brianna CC sat on her cell phone right there. Although there's a couple words, bionic, oik. Bionic was an actual word. Thank you, Mag. Man, so what's going on with your Wi-Fi? You got to get like a higher connection or something. You probably live out in a cabin somewhere. Yeah. Mag's a big supporter. I have a lot of them. That's what makes us able to do what we're doing. The cause of death of the woman who was reported missing December 24th has also not been determined. A severe diabetic, Brochu was reportedly last seen at T. Woody's, a Waterville restaurant. Does anybody have the ability to figure out where T. Woody's once was? She was ill. Well, let's see. Nearest bars to Temple Street. Now, where is this again? Waterville. Oh, look at that. So we got a bar there, 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 and there. I bet it was this one. So this is the concourse. I think it's, you know, obviously it's one of these. Usually bars stay bars. Somebody else just buys them. All right, then 9 days after that, police continue. Divers search for clues. Brochu's body was found floating at the Waverly Dam on Friday, March 18th. She had been missing since December 23rd. State police has set up operations at the Pinnacle Ski Hut near the Waverly Bridge to carry out a search in the river from the Interstate 95 bridge to the dam downstream. So they kind of think, I think they believe that she was actually dumped at maybe the Interstate 95 bridge right here. And then her body, which makes total sense. So, you know, in the middle of the night, you pull over here, dump her body off, then it drifts, and you can see by the flow here that the water definitely goes in that direction. So her body was thrown off and then drifted down. I wonder what took so long. You know, I kind of wonder, look how there's these little islands and things. She could have easily got trapped there, and then maybe a rain got enough current to push her through there. But it sure took a while to get from here to there, 4 months. Where in, you know, that recent case, the girl went 90 miles in like 4 days. Or 5 days, you know. But this one has a lot of obstacles right there. Not very far though. You know, and they're just guessing at that. But what they're using is logic though. So here's the town. She gets abducted. Here's 95. You dump her off the bridge and she drifts down. There'd be no reason that you would have driven up here to dump her body or anything, unless you're just trying to get her far away. Where the hell did they go? I think I slid the... Oh, there it is. Oh, man. This is brutal. What's going on over here? Something strange. I'm going to close down the PDF files and open them again. There we go. Wasn't working. Well, good, Jamie. Blue. I think Chloe's getting a bath, so Blue's getting all... Blue. Is that you, Chloe, or Blue? There. Come on. All right, everybody. There's Chloe. What's going on? Say hi. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? And there's... Oh, shit. And there's Blue. Oh, God. What's going on, Blue? Arr. Man, you really wanted to come up really bad. I think they just got their teeth brushed or something. All right. So they were searching down that whole river from that stretch, the bridge down. And they were waiting for results from the toxicology test to determine the exact cause of her death. And so then about 5 months later, they didn't really cover this at all back then. Waterville man charged in death. Okay, but it's different, right? A 29-year-old Waterville man, Gerald Goodale, was arrested Monday by Maine State Police detective and charged with murder in the death of Geraldine Ann Finn, 23, of Skowhagen, whose body was found in a wooded area in Skowhagen Sunday afternoon. Goodale was arrested at about 2:30 p.m. and taken to the Somerset County Jail. Goodale will be arraigned Wednesday in the 12th District Court. Fernand LaRochelle, Chief of Criminal Division of the Attorney General's Office, said he would ask the court to hold Goodale in jail without bail. Goodale, a factory worker, was arrested at his home on Water Street and surrendered without incident. LaRochelle, The police said Goodale had been under police surveillance. Finn, a certified nurse assistant at the Woodlawn Nursing Home in Skowhagen. Let's see where that is. Skow and then Hagen. There it is. Yeah, see, this isn't far away. It's right there. Look. And let's see how many miles. That's just one highway over. 17 miles. Nothing. Finn, a certified nurse assistant at the Woodlawn Nursing Home in Skowhagen, was reported missing by friends and family after she left Pete and Larry's, a lounge. See, doesn't that sound familiar? On Upper Main Street in Waterville. Well, I mean, look at that. So, where's Waterville? So look at, that's the same town, you see? And that was on Main Street. So here's Main Street. So it's probably another bar right on that same area, okay? So now you have two women that are missing. One both were found actually, but they were both abducted on the same street right here. Okay, so this story here doesn't have her name in it though. I don't think. Her friends told the Waterville police that Finn left with a mustached man with dark hair and dark eyes, 5 feet 10 inches tall, and between 150 and 160 pounds. The suspect was said to have been driving a Chevrolet Blazer and had a diamond-shaped tattoo on his shoulder. An autopsy was done on Finn's body Monday morning at the Kennebec Valley Medical Center, Augusta, by Dr. Donald Roy, a state medical examiner. There were rumors in Skowhegan that the body was mutilated, but La Rochelle said there was no evidence of mutilation. There was some indication that the body was concealed or covered, but it was not buried, he said. The body was discovered by Michelle Keys maybe, at about 3:30 p.m. Sunday. Keys was walking on his property off Route 201 near the Breezy Acres Motel. Let's see where that is. I wonder if it's still there. Breezy Acres. Oh, look at that. And is that the same? Yeah, 201. Wow, that's still there. Can you believe that? So that's interesting too, right? Boom, boom. Next one would probably be over there. Next one, you know. These little highways leading right out of the town. The body was discovered by Michael Keys at about 3:30 p.m. 201 near Breezy Acres Motel, where he was cutting a woods road when he came across the body in a wooded area about 1/8 of a mile from the highway. Geraldine Finn moved to Skowhegan from Massachusetts about a year ago with her parents, William and Sarah Finn. She lived on St. James Street. Let me see if I got that right. Now I have it on 15 Cushman Road, and that makes a lot of sense to me, but I don't know. They had said in the article St. James Street, but moved to Skowhegan. She lived on St. James Street with several of her brothers and sisters. Okay. Starlink best deal by Elon Musk. Okay, Waterville man to be arraigned in strangulation case. A construction worker charged with murder and the strangulation of a young Skowhegan woman awaited arraignment Tuesday as the state prosecutor held open the possibility the suspect may be linked to the unsolved death of a Winslow woman who vanished under similar circumstances. Deputy Attorney General Fernand La Rochelle acknowledged that police are examining possible connections between the deaths of Geraldine Ann Finn, whose body was found in a field in Skowhegan on Sunday, and Janet Brochu, or I think it's like Brochu or Brochu, I don't know, who disappeared in December and whose body was recovered from a river in March. There are some similarities in the broadest sense of the term, said La Rochelle, although he stopped short of describing Gerald Goodale, the man charged in the Finn case, as a suspect in the Brochu investigation. We're keeping an open mind on both matters, the prosecutor said. We'll go wherever the information leads us. Goodale, who was being held without bail at the Somerset County Jail in Skowhegan, is scheduled to be arraigned in the Finn case on Wednesday in District Court. Donald Cormier of Waterville, who employed Goodale part-time as a carpenter to help remodel, he said he was an excellent worker. And right over here it mentions Brochu, who disappeared 2 days before Christmas, was last seen at another Waterville bar. See, listen to this. With a man she had met earlier in the evening. Police said her nude body was recovered from the Sebasticook River in Pittsfield in March. No obvious signs of trauma. So at this point, they just have, that she's leaving. She left the bar with a man. All right, then 5 days after that. You guys still there? There's like 0 comments. The parents of Waterville man charged with killing a Skowhegan woman says their son could not have committed the crime because he was at home with them at the time he allegedly met the victim at a local bar. Well, of course you would say that, right? Gerald Goodale, 29, was charged last Tuesday in the August 9th murder of Geraldine Ann Finn, who disappeared from a nightclub and was found strangled several days later. 2 friends who were with Finn when she allegedly met Goodale. See, listen to that crazy. Gerald Goodale, 29, charged last Tuesday in August 9th murder of Geraldine Ann Finn, who disappeared from a nightclub and was found strangled several days later. 2 friends who were with Finn when she allegedly met Goodale identified him as the man she left the bar with, police have said. But Goodale's parents, James and Juanita Goodale, say their son was at home waiting for a telephone call at the time, the witness said. He met Finn and her friends. The 3 were at Pete and Larry's, a Waterville bar, at around 8:15 p.m. when they noticed a man in a blue truck circling the building and motioning to them to come outside. Police said the 3 women went out to the man but found he was sitting nude in the truck and they left him. Wow. That's crazy. Let's see. The man whom Finn's friends later identified as Goodale then dressed and met the women in the lounge, police said. Wow, that's crazy. So he was nude, then he came back later, and he went back in the bar. Goodale's parents said he was with them until 9:15. So you guys were okay with him hanging out with you after that? Then left to go mud running on some nearby dirt roads. They say Goodale's arrest. Let's see, why was she gone now? Police say Goodale's parents said he was with them until 9:15 p.m. Oh, that's what they say. Okay. They say Goodale's arrest was the result of a mistaken identity. Nothing adds up. It's not the character, said James Goodale in a weekend newspaper interview. It's a different person. Waterville police remain unmoved, however. I'm convinced we have the right guy, said Waterville Police Detective Joseph Massey. And this is about the other case, right? I'm confident we have obtained overwhelming evidence to suggest that he murdered Geraldine Finn. Police also have refused to rule out the possibility that Goodale was involved in the death of Janet Brochu, 20, who disappeared from another local bar earlier this year. Her body was found in March, about 10 weeks after she disappeared. Police reports show Brochu was seen with Goodale the night she disappeared. He admitted he saw... Listen to this though. Listen to what he admitted right here. He admitted he saw Brochu the night she disappeared. Juana Goodale said, but only in the parking lot of the bar. Oh my God. So now he's admitting that he was at the same, at the bar the night that Janet Brochu disappeared. So now he is at the scene of 2 different women. Yeah, that's just... This guy's... He's a serial killer, this guy right here. He looks like one, too. Look at this guy. Judge denies bail for suspect in slaying. And it's just about the other case. Gerald Goodale, 29 of Waterville, was ordered held without bail Friday in the slaying of Geraldine Finn. Judge Peter... we'll see. The judge sitting in the 12th District Court said he was denying Goodale bail prior to the grand jury. Finn, a certified nurse's aide who worked at Skowhegan Nursing Home, disappeared August 9th. Their body was found August 14th in a wooded area off Route 201 south of Skowhegan. The probable cause hearing was combined with a so-called harnish bail hearing. Under the state new bail code, people charged with capital crimes must have special bail review hearings within 5 days of an arrest. 4 members of Goodale's family and his girlfriend testified about Goodale's activities on the evening of August 9th and in the days prior to the arrest, August 15th. Yeah. Anyways. Let's see. Witnesses reported that there were beads in the window of the vehicle Finn left in. Goodale had similar beads in the window of his car. Yeah, let's see. A clerk at the Big Apple store in Skowhegan identified Goodale as the person who made a telephone call at 2 a.m. on August 10th, stating that his vehicle was stuck on a tree stump. Oh man, that's some crazy crap right there. He got stuck in the middle of the night after he dumped their body. At the murder scene about a mile from the Big Apple store. Shit. That's so crazy, man. He got stuck placing himself out there that very night, which is very similar to another case that eventually, one of these days, let's see. On the evening, August 9th, getting into... Westcott said the affidavit from witnesses and investigators showed that Finn was strangled and died as a result of homicide. She was last seen alive with Goodale on the evening of August 9th, getting into his Ford Bronco. Why did she get into his car when earlier in the evening he was naked sitting in his car? I don't understand why you would even give this guy a second of time. Witnesses reported that there were beads in the window of... That doesn't make sense to me at all, that part. Witnesses reported that there were beads in the window of the vehicle Finn left in. Okay, so they saw the beads. Goodale had similar beads in the window of his car. A clerk at the Big Apple store in Skowhegan identified Goodale as a person who made a telephone call at about 2 a.m. on August 10th. So, late in the evening and then 2 hours later on the next day, stating that his vehicle was stuck on a tree stump. At the murder scene, about a mile from the Big Apple store, there was a stump with vehicle damage and evidence of a vehicle being jacked up. Oh my God. The tire tracks at the murder scene, Westcott said, matched the tires of Goodale's vehicle. This is crazy right here. Westcott said there was evidence that Goodale hunted out Finn in the bar. If that proved to be the... Oh, wait, maybe the other people weren't related to Finn, though. I don't know. The ones that saw him naked in the car. Westcott said there was evidence that Goodale hunted out Finn in the bar. If that proved to be the case, the eventual sentence could be higher than a minimum murder sentence. There is no doubt that this is a homicide. It is not a self-defense manslaughter or involuntary death. This is not close to those. The risk is so great, the temptation is so great that he will flee. Bail should be denied. Mitchell said the state failed to prove probable cause because it did not put its best witnesses, the people who saw Goodale and Finn together, on the stand. According to the witnesses who testified Friday Goodale was questioned by police in the Janet Brochu murder investigation during the spring. Brochu's body was found. According to witnesses who testified Friday, Goodale was questioned by police in the Janet... Okay. Nice. So they interviewed him before? Huh. Brochu's body was found in the Sebasticook River. That's wild. Alright, then a year later, Waterville man given 75-year sentence. So, Gerald Goodale, 30, of Waterville, the self-admitted killer, so I guess he admitted it, of Geraldine Finn Skohegan, was sentenced Friday to 75 years in prison, a sentence called significant by a probation spokesman. In sentencing Goodale, Justice Donald Alexander said it was his responsibility to protect society from this man who showed a complete lack of remorse. Alexander said that while circumstances of the crime did not warrant a life sentence, the 75-year sentence would keep Goodale incarcerated for the rest of his productive natural life. Terry Machad, or Michaud, maybe it's Machad, of the probation department, who supervised the pre-sentence investigation, said Goodale could have to serve at least 30 years before any good time could be earned towards release. Alexander said he was not persuaded by Goodale's attorney that Finn was killed as a result of an accident. He agreed with the prosecution conclusion that Goodale stalked Finn as a victim and intended to attack her sexually. The death occurred, he said, when the sexual attack went bad. Such stalking and premeditation made Goodale a very dangerous person. Goodale spoke for himself. He's a serial killer, is what he is. Goodale spoke for himself for the first time in the case, which was heard during the first week of May. His attorney, James Mitchell, called no witnesses. Goodale's voice shook, and he cried as he said, "I'm truly sorry. This was no murder. It was an accident. I can't ask forgiveness because I can't forgive myself. I have not been able to sleep without tranquilizers." Oh, poor guy. There is nothing I can do to replace her. Ah, what an idiot. Jeez. William and Sarah Finn and their daughter, Marie, told the court that Goodale should receive nothing less than a life sentence. Miss Finn, Geraldine Finn's mother, said that when Goodale murdered Geraldine, he murdered all of us. Charles Robinson, an Augusta psychologist, and Dr. George Curtis of Boston, Massachusetts, a forensic pathologist, testified Friday that there was no evidence that Goodale sexually attacked Finn. The state of Finn's clothes was consistent with the body being dragged, not assaulted. Fernand LaRochelle, chief of criminal division of Attorney General's office, said Goodale had information about another serious crime and refused to cooperate with police. That's probably the Brochu murder. According to the pre-sentence investigation, Goodale said he knew who killed Brochu, but he wouldn't say who it was. Well, it was you, that's why. LaRochelle said the fact that Goodale was not arrested for the Brochu murder was indicative that the case was still open and under investigation. This is from 2019. I don't know if it has any extra information. 20-year-old Janet Brochu wasn't old enough to drink when she arrived at the now closed Tea Woody restaurant and bar, so they asked her to leave. The drinking establishment was located on the lower riverside level of Waterville's downtown concourse. So maybe it was the... I bet it's this one right there. Silver Street Tavern. Because they said the lower side, probably closer to the river, right there. That's what I'm going to guess. Like right there. A local newspaper reported Brochu had been out drinking and bowling with friends early in the night. When asked to leave by bar staff, one of the men walked her outside. The newspaper reported the man returned to the bar to get her purse. Well, if she was totally healthy at that time, why didn't she go get her purse? He went back in to get her purse and informed her friends that he was going to give her a ride home. He later told investigators that when he got back to the parking lot, she was getting sick and he refused to give her a ride. I mean, what a convenient excuse that is, right? That apparently was the last time any of her friends saw her alive. And remember that? So that's him. I mean, this is him. Remember? He says, I saw her in the parking lot, right? Right. Because he's the one that walked her out to the parking lot. Ah, Jesus. Yeah, that's unbelievable. So anyways, that apparently was the last time any of her friends saw her alive. They left the bar about 45 minutes afterward and she was gone. 3 months later, on March 18th, 1988, her nude and decomposed body was found in the dam of Douglas Pond. Yep, and that's what I looked up first. Brochu was a diabetic and worked as a dietary assistant in Waterville and Maine General Medical Center. If anybody has any information, call 624-7143. I'm not sure why they didn't put an area code there. Unit Central. All right. So there's these documents out. This is him right here. Look at that. I mean, tell me he doesn't look like the classic serial killer. I mean, that guy... Man, if you were going to say... not that it means anything, but... Here's what a serial killer looks like. Right there. Okay?
Whoa.
But her case is still open. Gerald N. Goodale arrest. Earliest release could be 2033. So that's in 13 years. Or I guess 12. He's going to be, if he's 57 now, he's going to almost be 70 years old. Yeah, they should never let him out of there. And then I have one more document. Right here. So this one is one of those ones I was telling you about. Sometimes you can go online, State versus Goodale, Maine, and you get more detailed information of what he did on the other crime. So let's see what it says. In May 1989, at the conclusion of a 3-day jury waived trial, the court found Goodale guilty of murdering 23-year-old Geraldine Finn. In rendering this verdict, the court concluded that Goodale picked up Finn at a bar in Waterville, drove her to a secluded location near Skowhegan, attempted to or did sexually assault her, and intentionally or knowingly strangled her in order to overcome her resistance to the assault. Goodale, however, claimed both before and after the verdict that he did not sexually assault Finn but killed her accidentally while restraining her when he panicked. That's just such bullshit. God. Following a thorough pre-sentence investigation and a June 1989 sentencing hearing, the court sentenced Goodale to 75 years in prison, focusing in on the nature and seriousness of Goodale's crime, his lack of remorse, and the court's obligation to protect the public. Although we upheld the legality of his sentence on his direct appeal, State v. Goodale, Goodale failed to file a timely appeal challenging the appropriateness of his sentence. On post-conviction petition, the court reinstated that right, and the sentence review panel granted Goodale leave to appeal. Goodale's 1989 sentence of 75 years. I think he killed Brochu. I don't have any doubt. That's probably why she isn't listed. Well, she's still listed as an unsolved case, but it's really obvious. I mean, it's the same MO. The only thing that's different is how the body was disposed. Now, he probably figured after he did the one in the water and how it was found, he thought, well, hell, I got to do it in the woods this next time. Nobody will go out there. The aggravating factors peculiar to Goodale only serve to reinforce our conclusion that this 75-year sentence was not appropriate. The court found that Goodale lacked remorse. Oh, this is what they filed, though, I think. So this is his attorney, I think. Because it's saying the aggravating factors peculiar to Goodale only serve to reinforce our conclusion that his 75-year sentence was not appropriate. The court found that Goodale lacked remorse for his crime and that finding was not clearly erroneous. Further, Goodale continued to insist both before and after trial that his strangulation of Finn was an accident. Like, isn't that an oxymoron? Really? His strangulation of Finn was an accident. How do you accidentally strangle somebody and hold it so tight for 5 minutes that they die? Okay? It just doesn't happen. I don't care how many people try to pretend that that's a real thing, but it isn't. And as soon as they say that, you should just laugh at their face. Yeah. Anyways, it's just, it's so ridiculous. Yeah, there you go, Jennifer. That's probably right. That's just... Well, it was weird. I had my hands around her neck, but then she grabbed my hands and squeezed them. My hands, I was just holding her gently around the neck, but then she grabbed my hands and squeezed my hands tight around her own neck. It was really weird, officer. I'm going to say this, it was a suicide. That she strangled herself with my hands. It was really weird, but that happened. Hey, thanks, classical guitarist. Thank you. Doesn't that just drive you guys nuts that there's people out there, and there's actually people who believe this shit? That's kind of what our poem was about, right? The people who panicked after chopping some, they die and then you chop them up into bits and put their body parts all around the city. Yeah. Nope. Well, thank you, classical guitarist. But you know what? The show's over now, everybody. 3 hours in the books. Unbelievable. We even had a little party in the middle for a minute. Covered 2 crazy cases that you'll never hear of. Ever, really. Brochu was a little bit bigger than the first one that we went over. Judith Hand. That one's weird. That one seems like somebody Should be able to figure something out. Yeah, I think the other one's solved, though. They just haven't been able to get him to admit it. Yeah, I bet it did, Cammy. You just showed up, right? But anyways, thank you guys very much. Thanks for all the support. I appreciate it. Really helps the channel out. The donations at the end of the month. I might do like a smaller donation and then put like maybe 1,500 more into the DNA fund. I got to get that sucker up to 15,000. Get that up to 8,500 or so, and then we can just do like 1,000 a month or so. Yeah, you gotta hit the notification bell. All right. Where is that thing? I know I have it in there somewhere. Yeah, right here. Watch. No, that's not it. This one. Does that work? All right. So look at my little animation down there. See that? Boom. All right. You need to have that on my channel. You hit the subscribe button, notification bell, all. All right. Subscribe, notification, all. Say it again. Subscribe, notification. I can't even say it myself. Notification. I should have that playing throughout the show, don't you think? Or would that be really annoying? Yep, there you go. Subscribe, notification, then all, where you get the little the dark bell with the thing. Yeah. All right. So thanks everybody, and make sure that you wash your hands, maintain your social distancing, wear a mask, get the vaccine when it's available. I heard basically it's all over the place. You can go get your shots. Just walk right in, get shots all over the place now, and we need to get everybody vaccinated. And the RNA vaccine is a modern miracle. It's actually safer and better than the old style, where you actually had sort of a I'm not sure what you call it, like a version of the virus that wasn't harmful. The word isn't popping into my head. And your body then creates the antibodies to a version of the virus that isn't harmful to you. But this RNA one's amazing. I mean, it's not putting nanobots in your body. Okay? It's not, hey, funny lady, it's not putting nanobots. You know, what's sad is there's people out there that have convinced a lot of really sort of gullible people that there's some weird sort of crazy governmental control with some kind of robots put into your body. It's stupid. Okay? It's dumb, everybody. It's literally, it works. All right? So hopefully you guys go get the vaccines. It's very important. And then we can move on and get back to normal again. This B1 variant, though, is pretty crazy over there. It's actually more dangerous for young people, although the vaccine works on it as well. It's just way more transmittable and way more dangerous for younger people. So we need to get everybody vaccinated to get rid of the virus. Does that make sense? Yeah, go get your shot, funny lady. Go get it. It's available out there. Oh, is that what you're saying? You're saying, okay, bye. You're going to go run out and get it? Oh, I see. What's NHS? I don't know what that is.
Gray, read my last text.
What last text? Oh, up there. Can we have a night that we guess your old Spanish songs and drink again? You guess my old Spanish songs? Sure. Whatever that means, but yeah. Yeah, maybe one night we'll just do like a game or something. Yeah, well, you got to go somewhere else, funny lady. Go put more effort in. You know, these people helped me out, and we checked. We looked at a lot of different. I just started calling around because of the information they gave me. I don't know what you mean by Spanish songs, though. Crystal, what do you guess? I'm confused. Can we have a night that we guess your old Spanish songs? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Look at that. Zozo just showing up right at the end. That's not even you, is it? In that picture. My Spanish soap? Oh, the Spanish soap opera. Yeah. But, oh, it said Spanish songs, though. Yeah, I remember the Spanish soap opera. We were trying to remember the name of that thing, but it never came up. Okay. See, look at. How did you know that, Lori Lee? How would you know that she said that? See, that's Girl Code Classic right there. How in the hell would you possibly know that that is... Well, I've seen you with makeup, though. That doesn't look like you. How could you possibly know that that was what she said? She said song, not soap opera. Okay? So that's girl code right there. Yeah, well, we almost figured it out. Man, you guys are amazing with that girl code. I don't know how you do that. Yeah, I had a Spanish class, and they used the soap opera to teach us how to learn Spanish a little bit. And I just could never remember the guy's name. We almost figured it out, though, didn't we? All right, everybody. Thank you guys very much. Let me get to the end here. Was it really? What made that fun for you? I was like getting frustrated not being able to remember. But we did some hardcore research on that, man. We had all these websites open and we almost got it. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about, Holly. No idea. No idea, man. No idea. All right. So thank you to Mag, Chad Obinger, Crystal, a.k.a. Beaver Gaming, Sub Crystal. Dustin Schaefer. Crystal, a.k.a. Beaver Gaming, Sub Crystal again. Holly Evans. Truth Sleuth. Maureen Code. Rochelle Black. Kit Kat. Rochelle Black. Allie Cake. Tia Marie. Marine Code, Carolina T, Lori Stagg, Kit Kat, Dan Carr, The Hawk, VD, The Hawk, And then Jamie McLaughlin with a double cat eye donation. 1, 2, 3. Claudia Neubauer. Claudia Neubauer again. CC. And then Jamie McLaughlin with another cat eye donation. And then Mag with a cat eye donation. Classical guitarist. And Crystal, aka Beaver Gaming Sub Crystal. Alright, thanks everybody, that was great. No problem, Zozo. You'll have to send me the actual picture. I just can't see you in that picture there. It's funny. But anyways, we'll see you guys later, alright? Hope you guys have a great evening. And again, wash your hands. Keep doing all the stuff until we get everybody vaccinated and the virus is just... But if you're hanging around other people that are fully vaccinated, and you're fully vaccinated, just do whatever the hell you want, okay? Don't listen to all the other bullshit. Okay, alright. So we'll see you guys a little bit tomorrow, obviously. And as I always say, until next time, hey, love you too. I love all of you guys. You guys are amazing. It's like every night I come here, it's like hanging out with friends. Some nights gets a little bit more stressful than others, but hey, what the hell, right? We're going over these old cases. Some of them we look into a little bit more. Let's see what's out there. Hold on, let me check one more thing. I did get somebody joined Patreon, so that was, well, Chad. Thank you. Chad Bobinger. Patreon. Oh, is it Jamie's birthday today? Jamie McLaughlin? Jamie McLaughlin's birthday? Nobody said it was Jamie's birthday today. How come nobody said it was Jamie's birthday? Well, tell Jamie to listen, because I'm going to have Mary Lou do it, okay?
Happy birthday, dear Jamie. Happy birthday, dear Jamie. Happy birthday, dear Jamie. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Hey, no problem, Greg.
All right. Well, anyways, I didn't know, nobody said it, or I got an email, but nobody typed it in. Did you guys type it in? Jesus, man, you guys. So there we go. That's it. Now you got to say look at. If you didn't say look at, I'm not seeing it. It's just another one of the 1,000 comments. No, and you didn't say it 100 times. Okay. It's got to be look at. Yeah. You know, you put like 8 look-its in. It's got to go. It's got to look like this. Like that. See? Or no, I spelled it wrong, but yeah, just like that. Okay, then I can look down. Oh shit, look, it's there. Other than that, it isn't gonna happen. Okay, that's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. And be safe out there. And a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a... Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector. rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gregor's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, ya, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody?
Yeah.
Hello? Certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher. You've been trying to play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gregor's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I mean a bonus with a vector. Hey, do you guys like the way I sounded? I was trying to sound more, cool. Thanks for the super chat earlier, on the PayPal actually, thanks. I'll let Ray know, okay? Linda Molden Howe of the cattle mutilations and crop circles.
That was pretty good. That sounded a little bit like me.
Well, I've been practicing.
right, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. I got to go. But thank you all for showing up tonight. We will see you guys tomorrow. We got that interview with the missing person, Loomis case. All right. Be safe out there.
Hello? Don't I get to say goodbye too? Goodbye, everybody.
Man, why do you have to do that every single night? Can't you just get off there when Grace says goodbye?
Well, I want to say goodbye too. I am just as important as he is.
Really? Wow, I don't see you doing the show for those 3 hours.
Well, I'm sitting here the whole time and I join in when I can. Gee, John boy, you're so mean.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Oh boy.